Hello, Internet. It's Paul. It's Matt. The Dork Lords. We are here talking about She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. The Season 1 finale. Whose show is this? We open with a parody of the opening of the 1970s Bill Bixby Hulk series. We then cut to Jen waking up in the enhanced jail cell that we originally saw Abomination in. Her attorney has cut a deal. Jen can be released if she wears the superpower inhibitor ankle monitor. We end with Daredevil meeting Jen's family, Hulk appearing to introduce his son Scar to the family, and Jen is taking Intelligentsia to court, announcing that she'll be dispensing justice both as an attorney and as a superhero. The end credit scene shows Wong freeing Abomination from his cell again. And it sounds like Abomination's going to be staying at Comertage. Paul?
Yes?
What did you think of the season finale?
I was underwhelmed.
Okay.
That whole, while I liked the idea of just Jennifer breaking out, of the breaking through the fourth wall to, jump into the Marvel Studios or whatever. I feel like, it could have been better. I think, if the person who was the showrunner, I think Jessica Gao is the showrunner there, she was there in that writer's room, but she wasn't the one talking. It was actually another person that they cast to be the showrunner who looked like her, similar to her, I say.
Right.
And I would have preferred if they'd done that with Kevin, actually. Instead of him being a robot, I would have preferred him being an actor who would say, hey, wait a minute, you just want everything to go your way? Why should we change it so that, you just have a happy thing? We want to have a good show. And at the end, it's like, I'm not clear whether or not the fact that she ends up not suffering any consequences, she can still now be the She-Hulk. She doesn't have to wear that anklet anymore, if that happened as a result of her rewriting it or some trial thing. Why does it just magically get so, I was disappointed.
I got you. I like the fourth wall break as well. I like the absurdity of the humor. I liked as she traveled through the Disney Plus selection screen. I thought that was clever.
Yeah.
And this was a meta episode. It was basically Jen critiques the MCU and her show, I suppose.
They're kind of soft. Criticism though. You had suggested that it was a harsh critique, and I don't know how harsh it is of the MCU. You had suggested that
that maybe that Kevin was a robot, and it was the idea being our shows are created by robots. Okay, wow. But you're right. Maybe that was not the intent of that moment.
Yeah. I think it maybe is just sort of like, oh, you say that it's created by robots? Okay, fine.
Fine. I think for the show, unfortunately the alternative, because it's basically like, hey, it's so formulaic. Here's an alternative. It's my story. But that alternative was a fairly forgettable alternative. I guess the criticism of a typical MCU show would be better received if this show was better. You're like, follow me to better content. Have we arrived at the better content? Is this it?
Now, this season is over. So where would you rank it in terms of the other MCU shows?
Yeah, no, that's
I certainly I liked it better than Falcon and Winter Soldier.
That's the one. I think coming into. Okay, go ahead.
I would say I liked it more than Ms. Marvel too. I liked Ms. Marvel, but I liked this more than Ms. Marvel.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Coming into this show, probably my least favorite was Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I always want to say Falcon and the Snowman. But yeah, I don't. it's been a while. You got that recency bias. You just saw this. Falcon and Winter Soldier's been so long ago. There were some major issues, and I think some of them were pandemic created for Falcon and Winter Soldier. But the show is what it is. Yeah. So I think this was probably worse than that. I agree that I think I like this better than Ms. Marvel. I think it's might be. I mean, it's right in the same ballpark. There were some moments in Falcon and the Winter Soldier that I appreciated. So, again, I'm thinking back to it, like, what did I like? Didn't like the ending. Didn't like the
but
villain,
I'd say I was more than I disliked about Falcon and Winter Soldier that I liked. Okay. And in this, I would say there's more that I liked than I disliked.
I would throw out another show because now that Netflix has basically, been grabbed up by Disney in as far as the MCU shows, Iron Fist. Maybe my least favorite of all the MCU shows.
So now you can put something underneath.
Right. Exactly.
Underneath Falcon and Winter Soldier. So it's 2 from the bottom now.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, this wasn't really my favorite show. It's definitely in the bottom tier. It's just the execution. Probably just wasn't there. I don't think the idea is necessarily a deal breaker. I just think it's like it needed better focus. Maybe I don't know. It just needed something. It needed another draft. I think this was like a first draft of a show that needs more drafts.
I think they could have been bolder in terms of having these characters have more flaws that comedy could come through. It's like I was thinking of shows like even though with the fourth wall breaking, in a way it sort of comes off like Modern Family or The Office or one of those, even though she's the only one who was aware of the camera, but they're
or Fleabag, whatever I think was another one.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Fleabag. Yeah, Fleabag certainly is what they should have been shooting for.
This is a personal preference, and it's actually one of my unofficial rules for writing comedy sketches. But I tend to stay away from the we didn't have the budget jokes. I think there's some similar jokes in Deadpool. I think Deadpool does that sometimes as well. But it's like I think here it was the do we have the budget for me to transform? And they were doing this whole, and it's like, I mean, I suppose the humor comes from the fact that it's true they have a limited budget, but I tend to stay away from telling the audience what they're not getting. Wow, if we had more money, this would look cool. But we don't. Funny. It's like,
because you're reminding me that in the second episode, you suspected that that's why she transformed, and I had to forcefully push back that that's how it happened in the comics.
Okay, yeah, right. So, but they actually did point it out this time. Yeah. But this is coming from a guy who spends too much time overanalyzing comedy, including my own. I'm like, but yeah, anyway. So just either do the bit or don't do the bit. Maybe don't talk about how you couldn't do the bit. That's all. Hey, didn't have the cash. But that's a small point. That's just like an observation. Right. Sure. Nothing major. So what did happen to her blood? Did that get resolved because Todd was arrested, or?
Right. No. They had waved it away, and
because her new story, they didn't even have it. Maybe.
Yeah. Who knows? They didn't tell you.
Because as much as she's like, do you want this? Like she's saying, did you want this plot about my blood being taken? Well, you presented it, so either resolve it.
Right.
I mean, it's now a thing. The MCU is a show about superheroes, and your blood could certainly pose a threat. Yeah. Okay.
And we never saw Josh again. Josh was complicit in all that crap, and we never even heard about it.
Great point. Great. He was actually the most complicit, right? You're talking the fake boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody was paid. He was the one that did it.
Yeah. No, great point. There was no resolution there that you felt like there should have certainly been.
Yeah. I mean, we could have had less of the preliminary over trying to find him and all this other stuff, and they could have had the fourth wall break earlier in it, and then really dealt with, what was going on, or at least made it so that you couldn't find comedy in that, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I still want a second season. I like I like Tatiana Maslany in this role. So I want to see more. I would, if I were Kevin Feige, I'd say, okay, that's good, but set the bar higher for next season.
Yeah, so it has not been. We don't know about season 2 yet. I mean, they mentioned season 2 in here a couple of times. So
Yes, they did.
Like,
They did
season
mention
2,
that.
season
Yes.
2, FYI.
Yeah, there's nothing about this that couldn't have a second season.
Yeah. What do you think would be maybe so in this season?
I'm curious though that there's I don't feel like there's a way to look at Nielsen ratings, for instance, on this. I don't know how to judge the success of it just because people are pissed and I don't know what percentage of people are not happy or people criticize it or whatever.
Yeah.
But how many of them are stupid idiots who a plus about the show is that it roasted the stupid idiots.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So this season, in some ways, was the arc, if you were to say of it, would be Jen coming to terms with her She-Hulk alter ego. Hey, we can coexist, and I'm not jealous of you after all.
Yeah.
So would season 2 perhaps maybe be the reverse of that, where maybe their She-Hulk persona gets jealous of Jen? I don't know. What do you think would be like we've done the origin story now. What would be like an arc that you could do for a season if you were to go that route?
I mean, her problems don't end just because she decides that she's okay with everything. She still doesn't have a suitable relationship. We really don't know where she stands with her coworkers. I mean, the fact that this problem happened and they cut her loose and then they decided to take her back. I mean,
well, they took her back because she rewrote the ending. But yeah.
Right, but still, there should be practical effects of any of that stuff.
Yes.
It shouldn't just be, okay, everything's back to normal.
Hand wave.
Why would you do that? That's not good for a show to have no drama.
What was funny, too, in some ways was, I mean, I don't know if this was part of the joke or if it was just hey, MCU Robot wants to do MCU ending. No, we're not doing that. I'm rewriting it. Fine.
Right.
And then we still had Hulk shows up. This is my son. In other words, we're teasing.
I was hoping that they would pay attention. It's save it for the movie. Yeah, save it. Don't do it here. Please don't. But no, they did it.
They did it. So I was like, was that a commentary on this? Or was that like, no, we had to do that anyway? I don't know. Anyway. So yes, they did put Scar in the show. He is now part of the MCU. He is from the comics. There's like a World War Hulk storyline he's in. If I had to guess where he might fall, I would think it might be as part of these young Avengers, right? We got all the kids of these heroes. I can imagine him maybe teaming up in that one. Whatever, who knows?
Sure.
But I assume they've got an idea for him, and he's there now. Now he's a thing.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, although I wouldn't be surprised if it was just like, this is what everybody thinks is going to happen, although they already, presumably they decided to do it months ago. But, it's like they decided, stick it in there. And, who knows if we ever see it. Maybe it was just sort of like, wouldn't it be funny if we got a season 2 to have Scar around?
Yeah.
Then he could get into fights with his cousin and then,
Because obviously, I mean, the comics answer some of these questions, but the MCU hasn't answered the question of like, who's the mom? When did this obviously happened during Hulk's time? On Sakaar, but anyway, so on and so forth.
Yeah, so I wish they hadn't done it, but not that I didn't want to see Scar, but I just didn't think. I thought they were right to not put it in this. Episode.
It seems very disconnected from this otherwise like a comedic lawyer show. I get it, Hulk and She-Hulk, and there's a Hulk.
And I don't think they make good use of Mark Lynn Baker. I think.
I know, Perfect Strangers. Come on now.
I think they could write for him better. I'm tired of that cousin, Ched.
The family. I was actually kind of annoyed by the mom as well. Just like, okay.
Yeah.
Like this, the family dynamic was felt fairly stereotypical and just like, okay, it's a comedy premise family, but
it's a trope.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Well,
But yeah, we got a little bit more of Matt Murdock.
yeah, I wasn't even that, yeah, so that ended up being part of the family,
Yeah,
scene,
because he dropped in too late. Like,
Yeah.
he dropped in, but the situation was resolved. It was the idea. Yeah, she just wanted him around because she likes Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we come to the end of the season. This show needs work. If it's going to come back for season 2, yeah, it needs some work to jump into the upper echelon of MCU shows. But yeah. Anyway, I'm glad we covered it. And what is the next series coming out? Do we know? Disney Plus. What's the next MCU series?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Besides a special at the end of the year, I don't know. Oh, you know what? They've shown trailers for it actually, with Don Cheadle.
Oh, is it?
So it's Secret Invasion.
Oh, Secret Invasion, the series. Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's probably going to tie into the movies. Well, I always
Yeah, because
say
his
that,
is the other one is with what is that? I forget, but it's,
you get the Echo series is somewhere in there as well. But
yes, the Echo series is coming up. Yeah, but I think there also is another one that Don Cheadle's in with the
Armor Wars or something like that.
yes, Armor Wars. That's it.
Okay,
Armor
which is
Wars, yeah.
by the way, terrible name, but okay. Anyway, I guess Star Wars is Star Wars, but Armor Wars. Armor Wars reminds me. It makes me think of like an one of those old 8-bit Nintendo games or something where you've got like a 2D tank that shoots little dots out of it. Like, I'm playing Armor Wars. Do, 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 do. But anyway, I'm sure the graphics will be much better than that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so cool. Come on back. We're going to be talking about Andor, catching up on that season. And also, we're going to be talking about the last couple episodes of House of the Dragon. So come on back for those. Paul, thank you as always, good sir.
Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate it. And we'll talk to everybody next time. Bye.
Bye.